What do I always tell you to do, huh? Add it to the list. Add it to the list. We have another line to add to. Big news surrounding the U.S. men's national team. Yunus Musah, 18-year-old midfielder who currently plays for Spanish side Valencia, announcing his allegiances to the U.S. Huge news. He would say, I think it was pretty clear for me to decide to play for the United States. Big news. Dual nationals, in case you didn't know, are guys who can represent two countries. So, Musah could have represented England, which he did 32 times as a youth international, Italy, Ghana, or the U.S. He decided to go with the U.S. That's some strong company that you're beating. Obviously, he sees an opportunity here. But you also have to give credit to the folks in charge, because historically, the U.S. didn't always get the dual nationals. So Greg Berhalter, who's in charge, gets a lot of the credit. Nico Estevez, who's a coach there with the U.S., the reports are he used to be a coach at Valencia, and he's on the phone every day with Musah telling him how great it is. So give credit to him. But also give credit, and I think the strongest part is the players for the U.S. men's national team. They're making it cool. They are young. They are having fun. They are all very talented and moving in the same direction. So this is a group you want to be part of. Doesn't mean Musah is going to come in and start every day, although he looks like he has potential to be an everyday starter for a senior team playing important games. Now, some folks would tell you to pump the brakes a bit, because Musah, who was starting for Valencia for the beginning of the season, last 7 games, he has 1 start, 2 games where he didn't play. His last game, he only played 5 minutes. And that surely is not the best trajectory. We hope it'll get right. However, put it through this perspective. If I told you 3 years ago that the U.S. men's national team would have an 18-year-old coming off the bench for Valencia, you would blow your top. You would be, this is amazing! Well, he's doing it. And it would certainly seem to be possible that he'll start starting again. So this is very, very cool. Jordan Siebatcheu announced that he was going to also be part of the U.S. makeup last week. Young striker, plays for Young Boys, adding to the depth. There was announcement for Yunus Musah, and then Flo Balogun, who's a 19-year-old who plays for the Arsenal under-23, sent an emoji with 2 hands shaking, suggesting that he's going to be next. Don't print that. It was just an emoji. But you know where I'm getting at. This is the place to be. All these great news items for the United States just keep pouring out. It's not always good news, but the good news always outweighs the bad news by a lot. Olympic qualifying this week. John Brooks starting again, another clean sheet for Wolfsburg. Christian Pulisic started finally for Chelsea. Brian Reynolds finally makes an appearance for Roma. The list goes on and on. Josh Sargent, Chris Richards. There's a lot of good energy for the U.S. Now, Musah would project into the midfield. The U.S. will play either what would be a 4-1-4-1 or a 4-3-3, semantically speaking, kind of the same formation. In that 3-man midfield engine room, he would be partnered with Tyler Adams and Weston McKennie. That said, I don't think there's many people who have a starting role locked up. I think that's part of the appeal with this squad. Maybe McKennie, maybe Adams, maybe Christian Pulisic if he's healthy. John Brooks, maybe Zach Steffen. I don't know. But it's open for a lot of possibilities. But Musah is a guy that Greg Berhalter says could be a great two-way player, box-to-box midfielder, run for days, stretch the fields, and would work very well. I personally prefer Brendan Aronson to be the third member of that midfield and have Musah come off the bench and maybe they alternate. But that's the good stuff. Options. Historically, we never had options. We have them now. Talent starting to stockpile in so many places. So he will be somewhere there. He played 2 games in November against Wales and Panama. Looked great. There's a couple games coming up at the end of this month. November 25th against Jamaica. November the 28th against Northern Ireland. I would expect to see him there and see how he works with others. It is fantastic. What a wonderful surprise, because a couple of weeks ago, it seemed like this wasn't going to happen. We had our doubts that he would, in fact, jump on board. But there you go. And it looks like he's bringing other players with him. So big news there, and some other big news to pass on to you. The Soccer OG YouTube show that you've enjoyed so much is now a Soccer OG podcast. It's a little different than this. I'm trying to create a fun environment, the proverbial cliche, having a beer at the pub and talking football. That's what we are doing. I have a group of collaborators that will try and challenge me, the Soccer OG. I'm bringing all 25 years of experience, which nobody can touch in this industry, in this country that I have, and seeing if they can take it on. We'll cover all the big stories of the week. We'll give you the information you want. You will be a much smarter soccer/football fan. Soccer OG, available where podcasts are available. Please subscribe, rate and review. Would appreciate the support, but more than anything, I think you'll enjoy it. I'll also have my little Andy Rooney moment at the end where I'll tell you something pretty important which will lock you up with even more valuable information. Soccer OG on YouTube, the Soccer OG podcast, it's all happening. Subscribe is the key word. We'll talk to you very soon. It's all happening this spring, ladies and gents, señores y señoras.